All right, my friends, I want you guys to ask yourself a question, okay? I want you to look over at your GPU that you have right now, that you're currently using, and ask yourself, what type of an experience does this GPU provide for you? Is it a 10 series? Is it a 20 series, 30 series, 40s, 50s? Is it a, RDNA 1, RDNA 2, RDNA 3, RDNA 4? Like what thing about that GPU really stands out to you? And when you bought it, what led you to that decision to actually buy that specific GPU? Was it a lack of funds? Was it, the top of the line? Was it something that you really wanted, you did a lot of research for, and then you ended up buying it? All of these questions are relevant in the current GPU market today, whereas before, things were a lot harder. So I'm going to kind of take you guys on a little bit of an thinking out loud with Froggy video. This one here is currently designed to try to get to the bottom of what's going on in the GPU market right now, and kind of maybe think about where things are headed with what's going on right now. So as you know, I currently have a 5070 Ti and a 9070 XT. What I currently have in my what I'm currently using today is the 5070 Ti. I needed to turn this thing on that I didn't have on, but we'll turn that on. So okay, I've made a few videos the last few days talking about the current way that GPUs are reviewed, the current animosity toward both Nvidia and AMD because of prices, performance, new features, stuff like that. And I've only been doing the PC gaming for a few months. A DX12 error. How's it a DX12 error? Just not DX12 error things. So, it might be conflicting with, no, because it's not, it's on the Nvidia. So there's a lot of consistent negativity out there right now. Okay, so I was looking and I saw this I saw this post from Daniel Owens talking about, like, he found current placeholder pricing for the 9060 and the 9060 XT over on the Amazon site, and these are like $449 and $549 or like yeah. The pricing for these GPUs is in line right now with what the 9070 and 9070 XT are going with. I mean, obviously these are slotting in a little bit, like, definitely higher than what they normally should be at the MSRP, but at the end of the day, the questions that I asked you in the beginning of this are very relevant, and I'm going to show you a little bit more of why that is right now. So as you can see, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows right now. Now I would record this on the regular thing. Actually, maybe I will do that. Like, we'll get some recording going on right now as well. It's just been kind of weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the Animus things, systems, and then we're going to look right here in the options. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make sure that stuff like FSR and DLSS is off. We're going to go ahead and set this to TAA, and then we're going to set this to native. I did this same thing. You know what, we're going to leave the sharpening strength right there, 25. So we're going to apply those settings. We're going to save that. We're going to come over to scalability, and we're going to leave everything ultra high. Okay, we're just going to leave everything ultra high, and then we are going to we're going to jump into the game real quick, and we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this experience and kind of see how this is going to go. Now, I believe this one here has the full-on freaking. See, I mean, like, we're pretty close to what we were getting with the 9070 XT. We're in the 30s. We're in the upper 30s with the 5070 Ti, using all of the features. Okay, everything is on. We're using all of the features. We are getting a little bit more of a stable performance out of this one though. As you can see, like we are climbing a little bit higher on the overall thing. So let's run out here, see what we're getting out here in this area. So I think as what we did was I switched it over to, so at native, okay, so native resolution at 4K, we are right at, you know, comfortably sitting above 30 frames per second. This is technically a 30 frames per second 4K GPU. Essentially, this is native 4K. So what the consoles, you know, normally, you know, should be able to do with like some kind of upscaling or dynamic resolution or something like that. This here is pretty comfortably at a 30 FPS experience with a 5070 Ti. Now this is a $1,000 GPU, well, $750 up to a little over $1,000 GPU, depending on the AIB that you buy. And this game is actually quite detailed. And we are using full-on ray tracing right now. Like the whole ray tracing is enabled. We're using diffuse and specular all over the place. And we're essentially getting a 30 FPS experience at 4K. Now, if this was a traditional generation, okay, say we had no way to turn on any kind of frame generation or any of that, that's pretty much our next option, you know, because this is a newer GPU, so it does have the ability to turn on things like Nvidia DLSS. So if we turn on DLSS and we drop that down to the quality setting, that there instantly gives us an extra 20 FPS, about 20 FPS, okay? Automatically the game feels a little smoother. It's not as juddery now, like you're not seeing that judder. Oh wow, look at that, only 10. Only like 12 frames right there. So I would say the average, you know, it's bringing us up, you know, 10 frames. Before, back in the day, you would essentially have to get into your settings and lower your settings to increase the frames. So if we go back in here and we come down to the options and we go back to just the regular TAA and native AA, that there gives us back to our 30 FPS. Now, in the olden days, when we wanted to increase the performance on something like this, you would go into your settings, and instead of messing with all the things, you would go into your scalability. So first thing you're probably going to get rid of is the freaking ray trace global illumination. So we're going to apply that. And we're going to jump back into our game. And that there, just taking that off, gives us our DLSS setting, like our quality setting DLSS. So instead of dropping down to 1440p, we are still keeping that native 4K and getting that type of a performance increase. But now we are missing what makes this game look actually really, really good. It looks a lot more flat out there in the distance now. It's not as you know, crispy, or you know, the detail isn't as pronounced as it was before. I mean, it's still there. Like, you could easily play this, your eyes will adjust and you'll be just fine. Like, it's not a huge freaking deal, but at the end of the day, you are essentially losing out on that really, really cool, intricate lighting that you were getting from that. But you are, you know, essentially getting, you know, better overall performance. Now, if you go back into if you go back into the options now, and then we go down, and now this time we're gonna turn back our beautifulness, okay? You know, our ray tracing that we can't live without now, because ray tracing is just so absolutely freaking incredible. I'm going to turn this light off so that glare is not in that screen. So now we're going to come back down. And now, because we want to keep that, you know, we've noticed that like, okay, so we're going to go over to Nvidia's DLSS and we're going to go to quality. But this time we're going to enable frame generation. And now we're going to get back into our game. And you're going to see it crash. Is it really going to crash, Nvidia? Really, bro? Really? Really? Dang, that sucks. Okay. That's crazy that this is freaking crashing like that. Playing with settings and stuff. It is what it is. I'm not even mad. Not even mad anymore. Really? Why are you crashing all of a sudden now, Mr. Nvidia? Why you want to do that to us, buddy? Why you want to be crashy? Are we seriously like out of like, no? Wow, what the heck is going on? Oh, dude, are we even going to be able to change like the settings or anything? Dude. Oh my gosh, I should have just used the AMD card for this experience. Okay, well, I guess we're not using that. Now I'm kind of irritated about that. Let's try a different one of these. Really cool freaking games. I mean, I guess I can just reboot the PC to try to failed to synchronize cloud. Try again. Like, what the heck is going on with the DX12 on this game? You know, this is the thing, man. Like, oh, I think I know how to get it to turn back on. I mean, I can always just switch the screen to 1080p and it should come on. But we can use this game for the frame generation experiment that I was going to show you guys. Because this here will let us choose 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't think the other one was going to let us do that. So, all right, let's get into some of this incredible Star Wars Outlaws. Sorry about the whole Assassin's Creed thing, guys. I didn't anticipate, you know, this having issues like that, but drivers on the Nvidia side have been pretty unstable lately, so it's just one of those things where, okay, let's get into settings, and we want to do our video at exclusive full screen. We're going to apply that, keep those, and then we are going to go with DLSS. We'll apply that. Maybe. Okay, so legacy mode off. Frame generation is going to be on. We're going to go with performance because we're on whatchamacallit, Nvidia's DLSS. So is what we're going to do is we're just going to 2x the frame generation for this. Let me turn that down just a wee bit. Oh wow, that is way loud. That is way louder than I thought. So okay, so we're at 2x frame generation. Let's just go ahead and resume this game. This game actually looks pretty good too. So, and it's got a lot of the ray tracing and stuff. I mean, I guess I could try do the thing before, but I mean, obviously we were probably at like 60-ish frames on the other game. So let's see what this would give us like out in the wandering lands of Toshiba or Toshara. So it is nighttime. So now we are at about 107 frames, and we're on a controller. Like we're on the DualSense Edge. Okay, we're just playing this game with a controller. You know, you got nice smooth movement for the most part. Like it feels smoothed out. Let's show you guys that real quick without the 2x on there first. So apply. So just so you guys can see what kind of performance we have on this one. This should be so we're about 60-ish frames. Okay, 60 frames, nice. 65 frames, whatever. Running very, very nicely. You know, you've got like everything turned on, like high ultra settings or whatever. Let's see if they're really ultra, just to make sure. So if we go into video, or not video, graphics, yeah, we're on ultra. So we've got our ultra settings. We're running around. We're about 65, 70. So I mean, automatically right there should tell you, like, look, 4K. Obviously you're in DLSS performance. You've got, you know, 70 frames a second. I mean, if we were running natively, we'd probably be closer to like 30-ish frames a second running native 4K. So you're looking at that, and you're seeing the overall experience, even at, you know, 4K, we're pushing, you know, 13 gigs of VRAM allocated, and then 10 gigs, a little over 10 gigs, just in straight up, you know, being able to run that. Ground textures, everything loaded in, looks freaking fabulous, beautiful looking game. Obviously it's just barely getting to be daytime, I believe, so we're gonna run over here and just kind of get you out here. So I mean, obviously, ooh dang, we got beat down, we got a whooping. So we're into the 50s, okay? We're into the 50 frames, 60 60 frames a second, okay? Now if we go back in here into our settings, and we're like, you know what, man, I just want a little bit better. I just want my screen a little bit smoother. So I'm gonna turn on 2x frame generation. Okay, push of a button, flip that on. Screen refresh rate, 240 hertz. Boom! Look at that. Now we're pushing up. Now we're 90 over 90. Definitely feels smooth. Easy to play a game like this. It's gonna run through. Nice, smooth, no jitter, nothing like that. Just looks good. You know, on a controller, you're not feeling any real latency. Like you're able to do everything you need to do. You could play this game even if there was latency. I have a lot of faith in your ability to be able to like time things and learn the muscle memory for being able to time things and aim and stuff like that. Like I have faith in you. I believe you could do that. So we're about 92, 93 frames a second. Okay, we're at 4K. Obviously, DLSS performance is making this look absolutely incredible. We got the sun coming up. We're going to be able to see some beautiful visuals. And then you look at everything, and this looks clean. It looks very, very nice. You got DLSS 4. We're in the transformer mode. That means, therefore, you can utilize something like performance mode to get yourself a higher than average frame rate. So we're 87, 92. We're about oh, look, 87. 87 is our average. So we'll go with that. We'll go with our average. So our average is saying we're about 87 frames a second. Now, this is at 4K, delivering you a 4K experience at very, very beautiful looking visual quality on a 5070 Ti. Now, this GPU retails for about $1,000. Like I said, $750 to $1,000, and that's giving you almost 100 frames at 4K, and it is smooth. Like, this is smooth, super smooth. So if we go into our settings, you're like, okay, you know what? I got a 240 hertz refresh rate on my monitor. See, 240.02. So I want to, let's try 3x. Let's see what 3x will give us. Ooh, now we're pushing 129. Now we're getting a little bit more up there. Now we're even more fluid. I mean, is it adding up any more latency? Can I still track this dude? Can I still freaking fire my gun? Can I still move around when I push a button? Does it correlate to the actions that I'm doing? Abso-freaking-lutely. I push the jump button, my character jumps. almost immediately when I do it. Like it is doing the action that I want it to do, as well as giving me higher frame rate and still retaining that beautiful image quality due to the fact that it is Transformer model DLSS 4. So that's incredible. And if I go back in here, this here is sometimes where it will start to maybe fall apart when you do the 4X, but let's try it. Let's see what 4X will give us. Yeah, there we go. Now we're at 4K at 168 frames a second. Not even a 5090. And that actually still feels quite freaking smooth. That still jumps right when I jump, when I push the run button, when I slide. Yeah, like, I mean, I get a little bit of like, not even that much too. Like the reticle it's not even doing nothing crazy. So now I'm at 160, 150 plus frames a second at 4K resolution, running around, not a lot of ghosting, any of that kind of stuff. I'm 100% enjoying this experience. Like this feels smooth. I feel like I've got great motion clarity on my screen, on my OLED. This looks absolutely fabulous. Actually, I think I actually have the if this is off, I'm gonna turn it back on. Screen calibration. Oh no, it's on auto, so we're good. I was wondering, my colors just don't look as shiny as they do on the AMD for some reason on this one, but because I can turn up my saturation a little bit more on this too if I wanted to. But yeah, look at this. We're at 170 frames a second running around in a game that absolutely looks incredible. We've got ultra settings on. We are rocking, all the ray tracing and stuff, except for I don't think we're using the full-on Nvidia like ray tracing, just because that like really starts to affect your is really going to affect your like your performance and stuff. That's going to knock you, still like 130 or whatever. But the VRAM usage literally starts at 15, and it starts pushing the boundaries of what that can do. And then you start to get like this judder in here. So while it does look nice, I don't necessarily think it's necessary to enjoy this experience. So I just leave that off, just because it does start to push on the boundaries of VRAM. So yeah, you could make an argument that these newer GPUs should have more VRAM. Of course, absolutely. VRAM is definitely an important part of the GPU. But I can honestly tell you, when you sit over there and you look across at the GPU you have right now, if it's not a 50 series, and you're looking at this frame rate at 4K, beautiful image quality, beautiful like texture work, everything looks absolutely beautiful. I guarantee that you would be happy playing this game. Like you would 100% enjoy the overall experience that you're going to get from playing this at 4K at 187 frames a second, being able to run around and move the camera and have it be absolutely smooth. You're not going to have a problem with this at all. Like this is going to be a great experience for you. You're going to love this, and you're going to enjoy this, and you're going to turn this on. And even if your game gets heavier in time, because I mean, if you look at this game, this is a beautiful game. It's got good looking, ground detail. It's got good looking textures, all of that stuff. I mean, it's a big open world. This is essentially a very good quality game. Even a game like the new, or even games from, even other games that look just as good run pretty similar to this when you're using that frame generation stuff. And if you're, I honestly believe if you're like most people, I think most people are like this, and I go off my own experience because I know I'm like this. If I get into a game and I can turn on the settings and I look at that frame rate and I'm like, oh gosh, 186, and I'm sitting here playing it and it feels smooth. I'm running around, I'm doing what I want to do. That smoothness of the screen is more immersive than you actually think. You know, you start running, you see something that catches your eye and you're like, dang, that's beautiful. Then you start seeing things that you're like, wow, that looks incredible. And you just get pulled into the game and you're like, wow, this is absolutely freaking immersive. So I know that it's not a popular thought, okay, but I'm just being realistic. I'm just being realistic. Fake frames, frame generation, for most people, and I've said this before in multiple videos, you're not going to give a shit. You're going to turn these on. You're going to enjoy your game. You're going to have fun. You're going to have a smooth experience, better than you've ever had before, from most GPUs, with the ability just to turn those on. You know, obviously at 4x frame generation, you're going to get some inconsistencies that aren't as good as like 2x. But even if 2x delivers a faster experience that smooths out your screen and gives you an experience, you're not going to care. And yes, I do agree with the PC community that, like, look, man, Nvidia shouldn't have relied on that. AMD shouldn't be relying on frame generation to give us performance and then charge them more money for it. You're right. You're right. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. But here in reality, where we actually live, if we want to be able to have these abilities, or at least be able to play our games like this, that is 100% a you thing, my friends. That's a you thing. Are you gonna pay, like I paid $939 for my 5070 Ti to be able to get this experience, 185 frames? Looking at this, I can see beautiful texture. This looks incredible on my 4K display, on my $1,000 4K OLED. This looks incredible, freaking incredible. $2,000 to get this image quality, just on the monitor and the GPU itself. And when I can look at that with DLSS 4, I personally have faith that developers are going to continue to support DLSS. I believe they're going to support frame generation. I believe that these technologies, and they're not even bonuses at this point. It used to be a bonus to have that, but now these are actual required features going forward that, guys, I can't tell the damn difference between playing this at 4K native versus 4K upscaled 4x, a performance mode upscaling on 4K at 4x frame generation. Like, this just feels incredible to me. I paid $1,000 and I'm getting 170 frames a second at 4K. That used to, like, tell me one 4K GPU that ever came out that gave you this incredible image quality at that higher frames for what, 3090? 3090 couldn't do that. 3090 can't even do that on this game. 3090, $2,000 GPU. 3090 Ti, well, $1,500. 3090 Ti, $2,000 GPU. 4090, $1,600 GPU. I mean, that one could get closer because obviously it has frame generation, but like this is absolutely incredible. Now, could you imagine what a 5090 would be doing? Like, you'd be pushing 300 plus frames a second right now, probably. Like, you would be blowing the freaking doors off this. This is, I hear this complaint all the time that, like, the 5070 Ti should be like a 3060 Ti. Bruh, like, my 3060 Ti that I had wasn't even going to get close to this type of performance for the price that I paid for it. I've got a 256-bit bus on this card. I've got 16 gigs of VRAM, GDDR7. It is compatible with PCIe Gen 5, and I'm running this on PCIe Gen 4. I'm getting 190 frames a second in a town on this game where there's a lot more CPU usage. Like, we're doing very well. Running at 98% GPU utilization, like, this is doing fairly well. I mean, this is impressive. Whether you like it or not, whether your best good favorite YouTuber can convince you that like, oh man, fake frames suck. I'm a video gamer, man. Video gamer first, tech tuber second. I play games because I love playing video games. I enjoy getting into these worlds and seeing this new incredible freaking detail. When I got into this world the first time here on Toshar, and I saw like the trees blowing, and I saw the vegetation moving around and stuff, and I just saw, you know, the freaking way Kay's hair blows in the wind and stuff, and like those things, like I was like, wow, this is cool. And I was blown away. I was, man. Like I said in previous videos, I come into video games, man, with like a childlike mind. Seriously, I do, and it's cool because I get to enjoy this. I get to see this. I get to experience this. I get to have fun. It gets to fully entertain me, and I don't have to be mad about it, you know, because it's like, wow, dude, this is incredible. I'm having the freaking time of my life playing these games. Better than I've ever been able to experience a video game before. For 38 years, I played at 30 frames a second, basically, on the consoles. And now I'm playing this at 170 frames on a PC at 4K. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, damn, this image quality looks incredible. Do you need 4K to enjoy this game? Absolutely not. You can enjoy this one at 1080p too. Like, incredible. 1440p? Absolutely. The thing is I'm literally showing you right now that my $1,000, $939 5070 Ti is performing better than any 4K GPU that has ever launched a day one with a native 4K rendering. That's crazy. That's insane. It feels good. I'm not, like, I could legit play this game and be like, damn, this is so smooth and this looks so much better than anything I've ever seen before. DLSS 4 is a very impressive technology. It's very impressive. Look how freaking clean Case Face looks. We're at performance level DLSS. Performance level DLSS. And this is on a 4K display. This is impressive, my friends. Like, I don't know how else to like to try to show you that. Like, there's so many people out there, current content creators that are just destroying this stuff. And I know for a fact, man. Let me turn this around, okay? We've looked at that. You guys get your froggy back now, okay? I know for a fact, man, gamer to freaking gamer, okay? If I can enjoy these experiences and see that, I think that's what sets me apart. I think that's what sets me apart from everybody else is these guys are out there cutting this stuff down, trying to really make it look terrible, influencing people left and right, telling them that the prices are horrible and stuff like that. And I legit just showed you an incredible 4K experience higher than anything we've ever had before. And I know for a fact, if I can play this and enjoy it, fully immersed, looks incredible, that I believe the majority of gamers out there could. Now, am I saying that we should be paying higher prices for this technology? Guys, if you would have asked me this 6 months ago, I would have said absolutely. These prices are ridiculous. Okay? But I've had 3 months now with the 5070 Ti. I've had 3 months with this now. And I've seen this firsthand. I've played it, I've experienced it. I've utilized these same technologies and features over on the AMD side. And my friends, like, my experience is significantly better than it's ever been before on both of these GPUs. And all I can say is I don't regret the money that I've spent for what I'm paying for right now. And I feel like these technologies are going to trickle down to other GPUs, like your 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte, even your 8 gigabyte cards, my friends. Okay, you might not be able to use all the features with those, but these frame generation technologies are going to propel cards like the 5060 in a way that's going to give you more bang for your buck for that GPU than any other 60 series class card that's ever launched before, period. Like you'll be able, like, man, we've had delusional people that would come out and be like, yeah, man, my 60 series card is a 4K card. Like, we have those, bro. They legit believe that, okay? And now those people, they get to be even happier. That 60 series card is going to make them even happier because now they're going to feel like they're on top of the freaking world, okay? Like, the delusion is going to spread even further, and that's okay. And why is that okay? Because, my friends, it's all magic. It's all delusional. Everything, when it comes to video games and GPUs and everything, is literally an illusion to entertain you. Period. End of subject. Now, if you want to debate me in the comment section and stuff, let me know your thoughts on this, okay? Because I've thought about this for a very long time, and here on Frogboy X1 Gaming, I want to find the positives in everything that I can, okay? I want to help you be able to acquire the products that you want and then help you be happy about the products that you have. Plain and simple, full stop. I never designed this channel to invoke anger, rage, hate, or any of that, ever. I've never done that. And I have had to rethink things. I've had to just rely on the experience that I get from the products that I buy to decide for me, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think the prices are too high for the products that they're selling today with RDNA 4 or Blackwell GPUs. Okay. Now, I think that, and that's why I say that, like, and this is exactly why I say that current benchmark and reviews and promotion are wrong. They're wrong in a sense that, like, but I mean, you can kind of blame AMD and Nvidia at the same time, you know. But I think that we've had this lead up to this day where Nvidia and AMD were like, okay, you know, look, dude, every single freaking YouTuber out there has been selling us our ray tracing and DLSS and all of this stuff for a while now. Okay, they've been telling us that FSR was trash and now FSR 4 is good and whatever else. They've been leading us up to this point where Nvidia and AMD were gonna decouple from max power performance hardware to a software hardware split. Okay, I think personally, this is my observation after owning these GPUs for 3 months now. Okay, 2 months for the AMD and 3 months for the 5070 Ti is, look, guys, we're currently sitting at a part where I think that this was the breakaway. Okay, this was the breakaway generation for both GPU manufacturers, to where we're gonna have more of an equal split. We're gonna have, you know, a nice generational uplift, you know, hardware wise from what we got right now. Okay, like our next GPUs should be definitely better hardware overall. But we're still going to be relying 50% on massive performance gains over what we have right now. Period. Like this was the generation, and the new prices are set for what this power, performance, hardware performance to software ratio is. It's up to you to accept that. Okay, it's up to you to accept that. I think that the older way of doing things and showing GPUs is outdated. I legitimately just showed you that, like, look, man, 30 frames per second at 4K versus 100 plus frames a second at the same settings using, you know, DLSS and frame generation and still looking and playing amazingly. Okay, like, I am convinced, okay, like, I'm convinced that, look, maybe this future's not bad. I'm convinced to give the new GPUs a chance. Okay, I wish that Nvidia could get these drivers fixed up. They're not known for bad drivers, so this is kind of this is kind of interesting, you know, to see stuff like that, like DX12, you know, timeouts and stuff like that on an Nvidia GPU. Whereas, you know, on the AMD side, they're definitely a lot better this generation in terms of, like, you know, smoothness. But I've had issues on both of them, so it is what it is. But I'm convinced that the new direction could be better than we've ever had before. Like, I'm convinced. I am. Like, I'm seeing this in real time with my own two eyes on my own screens, and I'm enjoying this. So I'm okay with the way things are going. Price-wise, I think you're going to get a better overall. I actually, honestly, I'm not just saying this, okay? I'm not shilling or defending billionaire companies, okay? I feel like this is, like, seriously, this 5070 Ti has been the best Nvidia product that I've purchased. Why? Because I actually feel like I'm getting significantly more for my money than I ever have with Nvidia before. And the same goes for AMD. Like, the 9070 XT, to be able to be on par with my XTX and still deliver, like, better image quality with FSR4, guys, I think we're okay. Like, I think we're okay. Yes, prices are higher, but these are going to last you longer. They're going to last you longer. Frame generation is one of those things. The genie's out of the bottle. It's not going back in. Like, you're going to be able to utilize this. Obviously, DLSS and FSR, being able to utilize these in performance mode, even on 1080p, you can still use these and they still look good. It's not ugly, blurry, fuzzy no more. That's why I think prices are going up, is because you're getting way more for your money than you bargained for. So, all right, guys, my camera's about to die. So if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.